Deuces. I mean, hellos. Inverse of the deuces. Oh, I kind of feel like taking some bigger jumps, so we're gonna go 50 or 40, 60, 80. Yeah. Not too shabby. What's up, guys? Appreciate you guys stopping by. Yo. Okay. Time to do 80. A little forward. Not too bad though. Bar feels pretty light, which is nice. I just have to focus a little bit more on getting it back a little bit, so we'll be all right. This last one was 80. Now it's going to be 90. 90 then 100. I'm gonna snatch and clean and jerk, and then maybe do some squats. That's kind of have a plan, but it also depends how it feels. But definitely clean and jerks. Lots of waves. That's what I'm kind of viewing. Well, Chad Hole, two things. You have to remember I'm recording with a camera or my phone, so it's front facing. So it's probably inverse from what you're seeing. And two, I'm in a shed, so it's actually now I'm looking at it on the video. It is actually flipped, so everything is in reverse. So the flag is actually faced the correct way because that would mess with my OCD um, with that. So let yeah. So I don't know. I don't know the proper way to display a flag. I just put it at the top where it could fit because it's really large. So it's nothing really to like. That's really the only spot that I could get it to stay in the shed or to be displayed at all. And I figured that was a good spot. And it's about as high. It's actually as high as I can get it. So that's all I can do. No, I don't even lift. I just yap. But time to do 90. Anabolic burps. Unsure about these straps. Probably just go back to the iron mines. Kept having a weird issue where I was trying to put them on, they kept getting caught on the knurling. These go on better, but they don't feel as tight when I'm turning over, which is pretty critical for not dropping the bar on your head. So that was 90. So this is in theory where the waves would start. So I do 100, 105, 110. And then in theory do that 3 times. But a lot of it depends on how my legs and stuff are feeling. This is all kgs. But yeah, so I usually just stick to saying kilograms. So I'm not saying both weights, but this is 198 in pounds. This will be 220. I might nix the waves if I start to feel bad, but I feel pretty good now. Back feels a little weird, but it's kind of just how it is. But hello from the Philippines. So 100 now. pretty good. Getting a little forward, but not enough to make me have to do anything crazy. So we're good to 105. My notebook here to write everything down. But appreciate you guys stopping by. When I was planning everything, I was thinking to do 3, so maybe I could do that. I don't know, Jeff. I don't care about the Olympics. Emerald Isle. Don't know where that is. Alright, 105. Same kind of deal. A little forward, but made it work. I was able to push it back as it felt forward at the bottom, which is ideal. Quad tendon doesn't feel the boost. Oh, there's just another name for Ireland. I didn't know that. So I might not actually try the weights. I think that was probably a little bit too ambitious for the day. But one time will be good, and then it'll allow me to conserve some energy for tomorrow. Maybe do even more or the same. As long as I'm just building the consistency, that's the most important thing. Not just to grind myself into a pulp. All right, 110. Oh, that fly. Let's just forward. Let me do it again. Oh, just too far forward. I just have to finish a little bit better. Wasn't even a bad rep. Oh, sorry. I'm hitting stuff on my phone. My phone was vibrating. Oh. Everything felt good about that, and I just didn't commit to finishing it at the correct. I just went a little bit early. Actually, this is where waves come in, so we're going to drop down to 100. Then build back up. I'm going to throw stuff around. So hundo again. I just didn't do a good enough job. It's not really, I don't think talking down to myself. It's just have to do better. I have to be confident and just commit a little bit more, but just finish a little, just wait a little bit longer, and it's just going to be in a great spot. Just extending a little early. So do that same thing again. So I made the correction, and with the lighter weight, it's easier to make that correction. To keep just committing to doing that same thing, even if it feels a little bit heavier. So back up to 125. Talk to Texas? I don't even know what that means. So do the same thing, just be confident. I mean, it doesn't feel heavy or anything. I'm just doing technically wrong reps. Or did one technically wrong rep with the 110, but I was doing a similar mechanical flaw with the earlier ones. With being lighter, I can get away with it, but once it's to a certain point, it becomes too heavy to do that. So 105 again, and then back up to 110. Much better. So much better. I'm also trying to balance my foot better. I was feeling my weight a little too far back in my heels at the start of the pull. So I think that's causing me to shift. Because that one felt so much better than the first 110. So almost keeping my weight Oh, talk to not to text. Now that makes sense. That's funny. talk to talk to Texas. I thought you were giving me some like really astute advice. Like don't talk down on yourself. Talk to Texas. I'm like that's a that's an Irish phrase I don't know. All right. Gotta do the same thing. Keep my foot balanced, and yeah, had that. Just gotta keep my feet. I'm not trying to do anything like particularly like crazy fancy with my feet. I just need to feel them being symmetrical. I definitely was like when I was setting up, I was like, my toes aren't even really like pushed into the ground at all, which means my weight's too far back. So make that same adjustment for this one. And I think setting my weight too far back is causing me to push it then forward. So I have to just keep everything just more in line, and it should be easy because it pulls easy. I just have to pull it correctly. All right, so 110 again. What I needed to do. That was it. I just had to talk to Texas. So since I've already done two, might as well do the third wave, right? I guess it's turning out to a really good session like that. And that's the nice thing with waves. It gives you multiple chances at that heavy weight, but then you get the additional volume and the practice of the lighter weights as well as the speed work. And let's say that I was having a bad day and I went up to 110, missed it, then did 100, 105, missed 110 again, and did that again. Well, I still am accruing that volume with the lighter weights, and then trying to apply it to a heavier weight each time, even if I was missing it. But that one, saw the benefit of waves, able to come back and make it. Yep, just gotta talk to Texas. Come on, Texas. Never been to Texas. I think I'm about a full day drive away from Texas. But Texas is a really large state, so probably to get to the very edge of it, it would take a full 24-hour drive. So I'm from Ohio, and yeah, so I've driven, when I actually was getting a lot of this equipment in here, with the old gym I used to run with my friend, I drove from Florida to Ohio, which I don't know how many miles that is, but it was a full 24 hours of driving, essentially. I left, no, well, it wasn't technically, I guess, 24 hours. It was like 20 hours. So I left probably 7:30 a.m. and got home after midnight. So it was just driving the whole day. And, the only time to stop was to get food, which I didn't really need much of. Get, drinks if I needed anything, because you're sitting down for so long. That and gas, just the most common stop, because of just the box truck I was driving. That was miserable though, especially getting in Atlanta. That was where I hit the most traffic. But back down to 100. So we're gonna go back up. Well, we're gonna do 100, 105, and then hopefully smash 110 again. It's weird. I went through many emotions. I was like, no, I'm only gonna do one wave. And then I went, I'm gonna do two. And then now I'm back. I'm gonna do the plan. So, that's why it's hard to even program for myself because I'll go through a session. I'm like, I plan this. Maybe it's hard, and then I just completely throughout the session just change my mind 8 times. But we'll do 100, one step at a time. Just gotta do the same thing, make sure the pressure is even in my foot, not so much in my toes or in my heels, but just everywhere. And so for me, to make sure that I'm pressing with my toes, because that means that I'm gonna be just more balanced. Very good. Very happy with that. It's something that Ilya and the Kazakhs would do a lot of waves. Granted, they had a lot of additional supports that allowed them to attack, do many, attack heavier and heavier weights. But even for normie people like me, they're really useful. Like conceptually, they have some big benefits too with training. Train the back end. Like high blocks. If that's what you mean, Jonathan, then yes, I've done high blocks. You can actually see them a little bit over there. You always get the weirdest people that jump into these. But, what are you going to do? It's the internet. But, sorry I did delete a weird person, Jonathan. Probably not, if you're referring to like at the very, very top, like in my hip, then no. But from the like high blocks above your knee, then yeah, I actually have, you can scroll back if you don't want to look at full videos on the shorts. I don't know if I've even posted a full video because I've been lazy with editing this week, but I posted a short of 120 block snatch I did. That's about the highest height I'll go there. I think hip lifts are not very useful. Whoop. I'm not gonna lie, Jeff, that I don't understand what you're saying there. I'm just gonna try to do what I've been doing and try to stay balanced. I'm just gonna try my hardest to not suck at lifting. And by golly, is that difficult. Catching high, adding squat. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely slow, Jonathan, but a lot of my issues with my bar path is not so much even getting under it. It's that I don't wait long enough, and so I end up extending early, and it goes out in front. So I get under it fast enough. I pull it well enough, or fast enough, and I'm strong enough, but it's just out in front. So it doesn't matter, how fast I get under if it's in front of my body. So I just have to trust the extension because that's if I trust it, then I just do it because I have plenty of strength to, especially with these weights, they aren't, crazy heavy for me. I just have to try to, practice with these weights so I can do better with heavier ones. But always need to get faster. That's another benefit of waves, is they allow you to move faster with lighter weights and then apply that to a heavier weight. So there's some application too for speed development as well. But back to 105. I'm gonna talk to Texas, as Jeff said. And snatch it. Actually, almost over pulled it a little bit. Almost drifted behind me, but did a good rep. It was all thanks to Texas. Jeff approved. Jeff approved snatch. That's what we're out snatching for tonight. I'm actually part Irish. I have a funny Irish story while I'm recuperating from that rep. So, my I'm mostly German and I have some Irish heritage. And my mother got like 21andMe or like one of those ancestry tests and found out she was, I don't know, 5% or like a really low percentage Irish. And her whole family was convinced that they were very Irish and had a ton of Irish blood. They found out they had very little. And then what was ironic, my grandma on my mother's side is not a fan of my dad, or at least, they've had, family issues. Like, they don't get along that much. But my dad also took that same ancestry test, and as you would imagine, he had like 15-20% more Irish ancestry than my mother. And when my mom told her mom, so my grandma, about like, guess what? We're not really that Irish. And she's like, no, that's not true. And it's like just DNA testing. But my dad's more Irish than my grandma, and apparently for them that was like an important thing. To me, I could care less, what my exact ancestry is, but it's mostly German or like that, Central Europe thing, and then there's some like variety of, because it's hard with this ancestry test because it just gives you regions, because a lot of those countries have obviously changed a bunch over the years, but not that much Irish, although it's mostly Middle Europe, and then some Irish and British, or all of the various Scottish and all of that stuff too. But yeah, I don't know. I am although my last name is very German, so I think that's probably the most likely thing where most of my ancestry, at least as far as like my dad's side, where that mostly came from, and then obviously the intermingling. But I know my mother's side, I think they have traced their ancestry back to the colonial times, but now that they think that they're Irish and they're clearly not, that might not be true at all. Who knows with that? But I think on my dad's side, they were, I don't know, I don't think they were Italian immigrants or anything like that, but I think that probably like 4 generations back, they came somewhere from Europe at some point, or maybe they, honestly, it would, based on what my dad had with being extra Irish, it wouldn't surprise me if his side of the family was like 10 times, 10 generations back to like colonial times or whatever. But I know at least what my parents, so that's one, grandparents, great grandparents, great great grandparents. So at least 4 generations. After that, I'm not really sure, but probably 5 or 6 at least on my dad's side that I know of. I know a lot more about my dad's mother's side, that line. I know that goes 4 or 5 at a minimum. Probably goes a lot more, but my dad's side, we don't know quite as much. Little historical things. I don't even know what that symbol is. Oh, that's just a flag of some sort. I can't see that at all. I'm not even gonna guess what flag that is. But we need to do 110 before I get too cold. definitely not very solid on the left arm, but we'll take it. Take it and bake it. In the back of my mind, I was like, maybe we do a double. Maybe we smoke this for 2, but when I caught that first, the only rep I did, I said, nani, not smart. Alright, so clean jerks now. So we're going to go 70, 100, 120, or these are going to be the waves. So for clean jerks, I'm only going to do 2 waves. So I'm going to do 120, 130, 140, then back to 120, to 130, and 140. Now that's assuming they don't feel like trash, which is a big assumption. So we'll see. But now we're at an intermission. Pull my sleeves down, so I'm gonna put wraps on and then pull these sleeves over it. So these are pretty nice sleeves, and definitely keep my knees warm, which is good. All right. Oh, there's my wraps. I'll put my reading glasses on because I'm blind. That is the Indian flag? That's what I thought it was, but it's much too small for me to be able to see. So, very good. All right. I'm gonna take you guys off the charger for a little bit. Real question is, what is my phone is about to light on fire. We can turn my brightness down a little bit. That will help. I don't have a fan blowing in here. Get that balance there. So I'm gonna put knee wraps on and then pull my sleeves over the wraps a little bit. What I find is that it's really comfortable. So the wraps don't really do a lot. These ones are my lighter ones. They don't do a ton. They do more than nothing, but they mostly are compressive in nature. So that's where they feel good, is that they kind of, squeeze everything in. But the, whatchamacallit? Oh, that was the, once I have that on, then I just pull the sleeve up kind of as far as it goes, which won't cover all of the wraps. It'll just cover the bottom part. But what I found is that this combo right here, it's absolutely butter. I was really surprised. I randomly tried it one day, and I was just doing all my lifts, and I was like, this is very nice. So it has that compressive force of the wraps, of course, and then the sleeves keeping everything warm. And then you get the, the double whammy of them both. So it's like having the heavy sleeves on, which is nice to have like a quick way to just, go from having just the sleeves on to the wraps and the sleeves and not have to take my shoes off and whatnot. And this is much faster, especially when I'm sweaty. And this is nice for like the heavier lifts. I don't need really any support for the snatching because it's just lighter, just lighter relative weight, so it's not that bad. But I think I don't know. It's been an interesting week. I haven't slept the best this week, but my lifting has been pretty good. So yeah, the 9. I have the 9s over here. Mine are larges, and if I don't have long pants on, like I have, well, let me just show them. If I don't have long pants like these on, then they just don't go on, frankly, especially if I'm sweaty at all. So it's like an all or none. I either have to put it at the beginning of a training session or not wear them at all. Unless I have these like training pants on, then I can slide them over. because the biggest issue I've always had, whether it's been with the hook grip ones or SPD, either one, are my calves. My calves are disproportionately, they're not properly sized for the size legs. Even though my legs are pretty big, my calves are just obnoxiously large. So the getting sleeves over my calves has always been a fight. So once I started discovering the Polish weightlifting pants and training pants like that, it's just been a key. Even for competitions, it's been nice because nothing's worse than not being able to get your sleeve up when you're trying to warm up at a competition. So even for comps, what I found out probably a couple competitions ago, so I saw people do it at like larger competitions where they would have pants under their singlet and stuff and long sleeve shirts and stuff, and I was like, I think I should be able to do that. Probably it shouldn't be an issue as long as they're compressed. They're not like sweatpants or something goofy like that. But that's what I tried for a competition. I'm never going back. If I do a competition, I will always have pants under my singlet because it's just nice for that. It doesn't help you at all other than just to get sleeves. And that's literally the only reason. I don't really care about any my leg showing or the bar hitting my leg. It doesn't help with any of that. But the knee wraps, Tony, I think they're just nice to have, especially for lighter sessions. If you're just doing like you're not you're not maxing out per se. It's nice just to throw them on. For me, I always have something on my knees, so it just feels nice to have that warmth. And the heavier black sleeves, I don't really like as much. I don't hardly use those because they just end up bunching behind my leg and just pinching all my nerves. Or I guess pinching, closing the circulation, not really pinching nerves. But it feels good like once you get it right, but it's just you just have to redo them all the time, which is not very fun, which I don't really like to have to do. But they're still good. They're not, it's hook grip, so it's of high quality. And I I mean, I would personally, I mean, if you have the hook grip ones, you know the quality that it has. I haven't been silly enough to try the ones from Weightlifting House. I'm assuming that, like most of the general lifting stuff, it's not really of that high of a quality. I got the Weightlifting House belt. It's just, it's a crappy version of the Rogue. And the wrist wraps that you can get generic ones from Rogue for half the price on Amazon that are literally the same thing. And the hook, honestly, the cloth hook grip ones are what I use most of the time. And so I've honestly, that's the saddest thing with Weightlifting House is like I want to support them, but I just don't want to buy crap that just doesn't last. I will say the thumb tape is good, but like you can find cheaper thumb tape, and that's like the only thing like product that I've gotten besides maybe like t-shirts that I was like this is like the equivalent to, and it's not like price crazy, but like the sleeves, like the book bag they have is $100. I'm like, like I want to buy this stuff, but I'm not gonna pay 10. I could buy a nice book bag. I could buy a really nice book bag for like 30, 40 bucks. And even if I didn't care about the brand, if I wanted to get like Under Armour or Nike, even it'd be like 60, 70 bucks. I'm like, it's probably better to get one of those as far as quality, like if you're worried about it. But um, yeah, I wouldn't recommend getting the Weightlifting House ones. I would envision them being almost exactly the same because I think he gets them made in China, all of his stuff. So it's probably not as nice. I know Nat. I think what Nat does well, because I think he gets stuff sourced from China as well, is that he just has contacts everywhere. He's just a really smart guy with that stuff. So like when he gets stuff made wherever, it's just better quality. And that's why like his shirts are nice and his training pants are nice. And at least for me, it's built up enough trust to where like I only buy hook grip socks. Like every Black Friday, I'm just stocking up on hook grip socks because that's like I still think they're the best socks, like the best price and the best comfort. And like I get so many of them. I usually get a bundle of some sort, and then just get 4,000 socks every year. But can't beat them. Can't beat that price for that. But I wouldn't trust like the weightlifting house they have their singlet. I'm like I'm not trusting that thing. I'm not trusting that thing. I wouldn't trust it. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't really need, or like training pants. I'm like, there's no reason to try it when Hook Grip has already figured it out and the quality's there. And Nat has just everything that they make is just so nice. Like I have so much hook grip stuff, but it's just because it all fits. It doesn't break down, and it's just it's priced fairly. It's not cheap per se. Like you're paying a good amount for the training pants, but like you're getting good quality, so you're not worried like did I overpay? It's not going to something that's break down like the weightlifting house straps I got, like those were starting to tear like really soon after I got them. Same with the Trokiti ones I had. And there's just cheap crap. So I mean, it is what it is. The iron, honestly, the Iron Mine straps are the best ones. I honestly think the second best ones I've heavily modified. These are actually originally the ones from Gabrielson Crane. So I cut off the leather and I shortened them because the leather was cutting into my wrist, and so I couldn't ever get it to be comfortable to wear. But those I've cut down. I cut them down again to be even shorter. But I like the material, and that's the what I've noticed with straps is the important thing. But yeah, the average. I have never had the average bro straps. I feel like I don't know if my friend ever had them. I know he had average bros thumb tape, um, but I think he had Rogue, like the Rogue short and sweet version. But since I've ever lifted with them, he had Iron Mind ones, the blue, the classic blue, short and sweet. And I've had two different pairs because I had one for a couple of years and it started to wear down a little bit. So I mean, like, that's another thing. They're cheap. Reason they're like $15 or whatever, and they last infinitely. Like I could still get my old pair and it still work. But I don't know. I think I'm just so used to the Iron Mind ones that I just can't really use other straps consistently. Like I was trying to use the Synchrane ones today, and they just weren't like when I turned over, I felt it loosened, and it's just I don't know. It's one of those things that for like pulls and for I don't know power cleans maybe, but like just I guess mostly pulls would be the other main thing. Like I don't notice too much of a difference, but for the snatching, like the Iron Mind, I don't think I could do anything above like 110 without the Iron Mind. Obviously hook grip, but like strap wise, I don't think I'd feel comfortable doing anything more than like 110 without the Iron Minds because they just are secure. It's Jesus, he's back. Yeah, the weightlifting house ones are similar to the Trahidi ones where it's just really cheap fabric, so it just wears down really fast. I actually like the Trahidi ones, but it's like the same problem. Like the Iron Minds, nobody just makes this that's not connected. They're all sewn together, and I don't understand that. I like them apart, and I don't. I guess for people it's difficult to get them on, but I just hate that feel. Like I don't know. I think I just got lucky, and I had a friend that was training with those Iron Mind ones, and so then I just got used to training with ones that weren't connected, and so now it's like anything that's connected like that for weightlifting stuff, for deadlifts or pull or whatever. It doesn't matter to me because when I did deadlifts, I was only doing powerlifting. I had regular deadlift straps or whatever, but for weightlifting, like I just can't use anything but that. I don't know what it is. It's my weightlifting ick connected straps. But I've seen Jesus and Tony. But I think I'm gonna start doing clay jerks. So the goal for clay jerks today, snatches. I actually did 3 waves. I missed 110 on the first top set of the wave. I did 100, 105, 110, missed 110, 100, 105, made 110, then did that again. So did 3 total waves, 2 of 3 with 110. The first one, like I just was early, like I just did. It was bad technique, but the other ones I was able to make the adjustment. For clean jerks, I'm going to do 120, 130, 140, and then do that twice. So I should try to probably do that. What time is it? It's about 8:30. My brother randomly left his car at my house. Not really randomly. He told me he was going to do it, but he's not from down where I live in Ohio, and so he was going to like North Carolina for work, and so he dropped his car off at my house, so he didn't have to drive it, all the way there, but put all the wear and tear in his car. So I think he's gonna come to the house at some point to get that tonight. I assume. I mean, he said between 9 and 9:30, and based on how much he's pushed, because originally it was gonna be at noon, and then it was 6 to 6:30, and then it was 9 to 9:30. So like, he could be here between 9 and 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. So it doesn't really matter to me because I live by myself now, so I have the ability to, I have a full driveway to, have cars, so I'm not that stressed about it. But I guess I need to warm up for clean jerks. I guess I should do the rest of my training. I might squat tonight. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know if I want to squat tonight or do it tomorrow when I do a potentially similar session to this and be at the gym. I definitely want to go to the gym tomorrow. Almost went tonight. My friend almost convinced me, but it would have been really busy if we went. I think he was going to go at like 7, and it's it gets really busy later in the night at our gym. The big group of powerlifters, the hogs, go in and train, and they're pretty hardcore about the stuff that they do. But I also didn't want to drive 30 minutes to the gym after being at home, so that's also the bigger reason. But little things like that, especially having kind of set up like this, like why wouldn't I just come out here and train? It'd be funny to go live there for a training session. I would never do that just because I feel weird to do that in public like that. Oh yeah, not for them. That's So I think one of the reasons that they wait to train late is because it is quiet for there's not ordinary people like the hogs are in there and they can they can wreak havoc. I say wreak havoc, but it's like the owner of the gym goes with all his friends and they push their powerlifting. So I think that's why they do it that late because they all work normal jobs, and so they all can get there at that time, and then they have the whole gym essentially to themselves, and there's not typically people going in. Most of the people would be out, but it's a pretty small gym population wise, so it's not that crazy busy anyway. But just like a normal gym, it's busier in the rush hour times for the most part. But they usually get there at like 7, and then I don't know how long they spend lifting, but they're always I don't know how they manage to like sleep, do all of the recovery stuff to like sleep enough to show up because they drink all their caffeine and they're training super hard late into the night, or at least I don't know. Maybe their sessions go fast. I do waste a lot of time training, so they probably train more efficiently than Leonardo. But yeah, and most of the other nights, because they don't train every day, every night or whatever. So I know Fridays is usually a big day for them, and then sometimes Saturdays. But I think Sunday mornings they train, like in the like early in the morning. But it's like random, like when it's probably Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Sunday. I don't know if they come in on other days, but yeah, once they come in, that's when the real party starts. That's when the death metal starts, and they start slanging some heavy weights. You want to feel really humbled, watch them try to bench press, my deadlift. Well, I will say I deadlift a little bit more than a bench press, but you'll see some 500 plus pound benches sometimes. All right. All right. It's like the last little ick with my shoulder is that I still push jerks forward, which I mean I kind of always do, but I have less of an ability to actually get it back behind me where I want it to be. But we'll at least we'll do our work tonight. All right. So my brother hasn't texted me yet. We're still good on time. Don't want to be crazy expeditious, but we don't want to be wasting time. All right, 100. We're doing a lot more push presses, which always helps me in the jerk. I think a lot less with the strength and more with the dip drive. So I have to be super aggressive with it for push presses, and that's obviously good to do for jerks as well. So I just have to take that I'm doing a push press mindset to the jerk, and I'm not just trying to technique it above my head necessarily. Need the ooga booga. I don't know why I powered that, just for fun. For America. That's my contribution to the United States of America, a 100 kilogram power clean and jerk. I think maybe I'll power clean this one too. What's on the paper? I write my workout down. It's the launch codes. I've been entrusted with the launch sequence on a spiral notebook paper. But no, I just write down my workout. We got thumb tape on. So we're gonna bless America with a 120 power clean. I think I'm not gonna do waves and clean jerk because I don't think that's just not gonna be in the cards. But we're gonna try to power this 120. I mean, this 120 should be good. I power clean 125 yesterday and trying to push press it, so should be able to do 120. Doing 130 though, that might be interesting. So let's see. We're gonna cheat and throw this on too. Kind of a weird lift. Got a hot loogies back there. I definitely could have put the belt one loop tighter, but for 120 I usually don't need to. So I think I do 130, unless you guys disagree. But either way, I'm going to do 130, whether it's a full or power. We're going to load it on there and see what happens. That's really what lifting's all about. You guys are the best coaches. Nobody's telling me, nobody's holding me back. Can't hold back a guy who doesn't care about how much weight's on a bar. All right. 130 time. Change my mind, so I'm gonna do a full clean and jerk, and then see what happens with 140. Whether that means a 1+1 there or a 1+2, but what I do is still regular lift because I could probably power it, but it'd be kind of in between and kind of just waste a lot of energy that I could use for the next lift. So we're gonna just do a full clean. Once it feels really fast, maybe I change my mind. I guess we'll find out. I'm indecisive, so we're just gonna pull on it, see how it feels. You see the mental gymnastics I go through when I lift. That's why I can't program myself very well. That's why I write down a thing and I'll change it 40,000 times. Literally walk it up. I'm gonna try to do a power. No power. Alright, I'm gonna power. Grab the bar. Think I could power. Remember Ilya. Remember the 210 power. Oh, there's the bar. I wasn't even really centered. But we're gonna try 140. Now this, I definitely want to try to power it. Because I'm not gonna do the waves with clean jerks today. I'm not gonna be Ilya. I don't have the supplementation for that. I guess if I did, I'd be doing this workout with about 55 kilos more. But we'll try to power 140. Power 140 is always good. My best ever is 146 or 7 for 1, which I did once, and I've never done that again. I don't know how I did it the one time, but it was just the most random day. And closest I've gotten to that, I think, is like 143. It was a very bizarre day. That's I've watched that way too many times, but I know exactly. That's what, like, it's gotten me to contemplate getting like a TV screen out here, because if I saw it on my phone and I'm playing it or any video like that, I just can't see it because I'm blind. But I need a big TV screen. All right, we're gonna do 140. Now we have to commit to doing a normal lift so I can just get it back and really try to power it so I'm not doing a weird full clean or something. So I just gotta, it's gotta be a man. I will say my brother is driving through Tennessee, and he said he's going to get me a bottle of Surprise, and he's going to drop off. I mean, that's why I hope he's here tonight at some point, because I would like to have a nice little relaxing glass of apple juice, or whatever beverage he decided to get me. But something good from Tennessee. Which, Tony, you're the only 10 I see. You're only Tony I see. The mania has set in. Reed is here. Hey Reed, I'm gonna try to power 140. I'm either gonna power it or it's gonna power me into the absolute dirt. So either way. Yeah, 130, 35, 40. Good. We gotta get this bad boy all the way on. So I have to pretend to be fast and powerful. All these things that I am not. Time to get it, Reed. So power clean and jerk, not the power jerk, split jerk, because I'm not trying to power 140. Power jerk 140. Oh, that was a pow. IPF depth. Oh, that was two jerks though. Oh, first jerk felt really good. So that's what we call a certified pow. I don't know how deep it looked, but I didn't have to stretch reflex it back up. So I consider that a pow when I don't have to get absolutely smashed. Oh. Yeah, I saw some of your training, Reed. Butter is smooth. I like your road training plates. I like the color. See, my special interest is to have the colorful plates, but I like the black and color aesthetic of them. Oh, that was a good 1+2 though. I was really happy on that second jerk. I was able to commit to getting under more, And I felt like actually it was forward, but it wasn't like crazy forward. I was able to actually push it back a little bit too once I caught it. So, but where are my glasses? I can't see without my glasses. Typically, I miss jerks forward. But oh, nice Marketplace. I almost bought polling blocks from Marketplace, but the guy didn't want lower than what he was offering. I didn't really want them that bad. I mostly wanted pulling blocks so I'd have high blocks for the gym. Because we technically do have them, but they're just like, it's literally just a bunch of like wood just screwed together. So they're a big pain to move and use. They work well, they're sturdy. You can drop a grenade on them and they'd stay together, but they move. I mean, they don't move. They are hard to move, I should say. But yeah, that 140, I kind of want to look at that in a video because I definitely think I'm hitting IP up depth. I didn't get any red lights in my powerlifting squat competition there. Oh, aren't you guys glad I edit all my videos so you don't have to watch me huff and puff for 2.5 minutes? Or at least most of them. Sometimes I guess I leave it in. You can see how long I just stare and think. I don't even know. That's the thing is I don't even think. I'm just trying to like elevate my heart rate. Oh yeah, I buried that clean. Let's see that. Oh yeah, definitely looks like I buried it, but I didn't have to bottom out necessarily. So that's where it's like, I would never consider that like, oh, I power clean that, or I did a power clean. That's my power clean PR. But it's definitely, that's how you want to miss a power clean. The two jerks are actually buttery. Heck yeah. Muy bien. Oh, I've had to speak more Spanish this year than any other year of teaching, which is kind of a fun challenge when they're 6 years old and their Spanish pronunciation is about as good as my Spanish understanding, which is not very good. Oh. Pizza. What kind of pizza did you get, Reed? That sounds so good right now. I want all of the bad foods. I want fried chicken more than anything in the world. There's a paraprofessional at school today that was talking about a fried chicken place, a cream chicken place. And I wanted to eat so much of it. I'm so hungry right now too. I even ate before I came out. I had made a burrito with cheese and chicken thigh, and just made I guess a chicken burrito. Uh, yeah, the bar. I got the I spent like 10 minutes talking crap about weightlifting house, but the barbell they made is good. That's I got that because it was super discounted. It was actually cheaper than the Rogue one. Because in theory, I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, the Alico bar that's up here. Eventually, my roommate. I guess he's not my roommate anymore, but he's in his house. He doesn't have a setup or anything, so he hasn't come and get the bar yet. So I could still use the Alico, but it's nice because the knurling on the Alico is really tough, and that's a bit softer, but it's not as soft as the Vulcan that I have at the gym. And really, the only reason I have the Vulcan is because of the fact that Justin, my friend, was able to get. It was a sad story, and I don't really want to divulge it because that's kind of his own personal thing. But he basically was able to get a good deal on the barbell just because of circumstances. And so he came into possession of the Alico barbell, and so he had already bought the Vulcan one. So then I bought the Vulcan from him so he could use a Alico because I like the Vulcan more than the competition Alico because the knurling wasn't as aggressive. So I wasn't going to. There's a whole swarm of bugs that just went into that thing. Yikes. But so I own the Vulcan technically that's at the gym, and then I own the weightlifting house bar that's here. I could in theory like just bring my bar to the gym, but that's why I bought two because I waste my money like that. And it's nice obviously not to carry a bar in every time that you train. At my old gym, we brought our bars in and we would just tie them with a bike lock so people wouldn't use them. We had we talked to the owner, and so we had like a little like nook that we just threw them in and tied them together. Because we're like the gym that I have it at now, I don't lock it or anything, and I'm not really worried about people breaking it because there's not enough population of people there that A would want to use a bar that has really light knurling, B would be strong enough to actually break the bar, and three would, all of that would work together. Like there's not enough amount of people. But in a commercial gym, there's going to be some knuckle dragger that's going to try to load up 800 pounds on a bar and then drop it on the side of a rack and somehow figure out how to bend it, or just be using it for bench press. Because I remember I had one day I finished training, put the bar back behind the wooden leg shelf thing that we had it at, tied it up. And while I was doing this, there was just a guy that was sitting probably 10 feet away from me. Just wasn't, I don't think he was like necessarily watching me, but I mean, he was seeing what I was doing. And, it's a process to wrap a bike lock around a barbell and to, knot it essentially so people can't get it out. And as soon as I lock it and walk away and start putting my bag away, he comes over and tries to snake the bar out of. I'm like, dude, what the heck are you doing? I was like, dude, that's not your bar. Like that's why it's hidden. So he wasted all. He watched me do all that just to go behind there and try to get one of those bars. And I know for a fact it wasn't like a guy who was doing weightlifting. It was just some like bro bodybuilder looking guy. And it's like, dude, like those bars are just not good for anything other than weightlifting. Like if you're a bodybuilder, you don't want a bar that spins like that. If you're just doing bench pressing, you're just gonna hurt yourself. I wouldn't even. I get scared bench pressing with the Alico bar or any weightlifting bar just because it rolls and I'm not doing any crazy bench pressing. And I have a feeling that someone that doesn't know that it spins really freely is just gonna drop the bar on their forehead. But um, I actually don't know what Toppers is, so I assume that's just a regional place. There is the only regional place that I know. Well, I guess there's probably a lot in Ohio, but there was the only pizza place I remember going to that was only like where I grew up. That was still a chain was east of Chicago, and that was up north a lot more. I think I've only seen one since I've moved down here. I don't know if it's like a dying chain or whatever, but it was always a funny thing. But looks like my brother's gonna be here in about 5 minutes, so seems like a good point to stop anyway. I was kind of contemplating squatting or not, but I think I'm gonna go and welcome him, and say hi to him. But do appreciate you guys stopping by and motivate me on that POW or full clean, whatever you want to call it. Definitely happy with that. So really productive session. I will probably just do the squats tomorrow because I'll probably be at the actual gym, so I'll have more motivation to do those. And probably gonna do it today, but it's one of those things. Like I still want to go hard tomorrow, but um, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Have a good night, guys.